Hello, everyone. My name is Jesselyn Kowaleski, and I am a senior majoring in Communication Studies with a minor in Legal Studies here at Bloomsburg University. I chose the Paris Climate Agreement as my topic because I am interested in the strategies countries around the world are implementing to combat the current instability facing our environment. Research is being conducted around the world in pursuit for an optimal solution that will minimize future pollution rates and repair the past damages that have already taken a toll on our environment. And since it has been a little over a year since the United States withdrew from the agreement, I would like to shed light to those who are unaware of the treaty and what could occur as a result of the withdrawal. On December 12, 2015, United Nations representatives from 195 countries committed to a treaty that outlined the immediate need to combat the global threat of climate change. The Paris Climate Accord, which is referred to as the Paris Agreement, is a non-binding treaty that represents an international commitment to the common goal of reducing future greenhouse gas emissions. The treaty is designed to combat the daunting threats posed by recent global climate trends by reducing the greenhouse gas emissions and promoting green energy initiatives. The main aim is to strengthen the world's response to keep global temperature rising below 2 degrees Celsius above industrial levels, and to strengthen the ability of countries to deal with the climate change we are already facing. On June 1, 2017, President Donald Trump announced the United States' intention to revoke its commitment due to economic concerns. The withdrawal will not formally take effect until June of 2021. This provides time for the decision to be reversed as the possibility of this administration retaining office in 2020 wanes thin. Many United States-based corporations have taken the initiative to independently commit to honoring the Paris Agreement despite the federal government's position to try and save our environment. And at this point, the United States has alienated itself as the only member of the UN not in support of the Paris Agreement. And as the largest single contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, it is in the United States' best interest to expedite a diplomatic solution to this matter, as it will impede foreign relations efforts spanning across the globe. Many scientists studying anthropogenic global warming agree that climate change is having a drastic impact on our environment. For centuries, atmospheric carbon dioxide levels were sitting below 300 parts per million. Now we are sitting at around 400 parts per million, which are only predicted to increase. With the advancement of technology, scientists have been able to see the big picture of climate change. Models predict that the Earth will warm 2 and 6 degrees Celsius in the next century. The predicted rate of warming for the next century is at least 20 times faster. The rate of climate change is extremely concerning, with the collaboration of scientists agreeing that climate change is a big concern for the future of the environment. It is hard to argue otherwise. There is a point of no return when it comes to saving Earth's atmosphere, and at the rate we are going, it is approaching rapidly. This is not a matter we can allow legislative disarray to push to the back burner as they have on previous occasions. The United States must rejoin the fight against climate change and make it our top priority, doing everything in our power to preserve what remains of our ozone. The main goal is to ensure the future of our ecosystem by combating climate change and putting an end to greenhouse gas emissions by promoting alternative forms of sustainable energy. To accomplish this, we must renew our commitment to the Paris Agreement, as well as improve upon the previous agreement by creating economic and social incentives to abandon greenhouse gases in totality. Bipartisan legislation will be put into place to ensure that we see a considerable uptick in the supply of renewable energy. This result will be achieved by employing a combination of tax reform measures, which provides financial incentives to businesses as well as individual consumers. Tax credits will be designed with the intention of seeing a decrease in anthropogenic gas emissions by 2025. A market-based solution to reduce emissions can be reached by a cap-and-trade program or a carbon tax program. The cap-and-trade program sets a cap on emissions and distributes them among firms. The purpose of this strategy is to ensure that total pollution goes down. Companies are given an economic incentive to find better ways to reduce greenhouse gas and support clean energy. The carbon tax is a set fee for greenhouse gas pollution. The government sets a price per ton on carbon and then translates it into a tax. The purpose is to encourage businesses and individuals to reduce consumption. Here we have a graph comparing the two strategies and what the estimated outcomes would be. Both options unfortunately would raise prices to consumers, making gas and electricity a little bit more expensive. The question at hand here is, will these strategies work? We have employed the cap and trade strategy back in 1990 that successfully cut back emissions. In order for each country to achieve these emission pledges, carbon pricing plans are an effective form of regulation. In order to benefit the most from these programs, the need for international cooperation is essential. Government and businesses will have to work together in order to find clarity to establish and further advance climate policies. If the United States wishes to remain powerful by influencing policy abroad, then we should cancel the withdrawal from the agreement. The false threat that this agreement puts the economy at risk still does not justify the abandonment of a global leadership pledge to combat climate change. In response to this threat, the United States should take a stance in support of the Paris Agreement immediately.